y'all. Today's video is man harms detective after sneaking weapon into interrogation. Let's get into it.
My understanding on the office.
Yeah, you had some like a cigarette and we had to talk to my girl for 1 second and I'll figure out whatever you want.
This is the moment a handcuffed man in custody caught two DEA agents off guard.
Was he our guy?
Right there. That's our guy.
Stupid mother. Why the would you do that?
What officers didn't realize was that he had warned them about this exact moment years earlier. And just hours before this, they'd made a critical mistake that made it all possible. In the early hours of May 16th, a Callaway County father heard what sounded like a gunshot outside his family's home. Concerned, he stepped out to investigate only to find a vehicle blocking his driveway, with a fully loaded assault rifle clearly visible in the back seat. Afraid that someone dangerous might still be nearby, he immediately called the police. An officer was quickly dispatched to the scene, unaware that this call would soon lead them to one of the county's most wanted fugitives whose deadly revenge plan would cost an officer his life.
Got here.
Well, first of all, we got a plate that doesn't belong on this vehicle.
Well, there's a machine gun or something.
AK-47 or whatever, fully loaded magazine.
Hey, Chief.
Guys, cool.
Well, he said the neighbor lives here. She left. She came over and said something to them. Doesn't know whose vehicle it is. It's got this rifle in the back.
Yeah.
The plate doesn't come back to this vehicle. I see a needle cap up here in the floorboard. Yep.
Officers found the car unlocked with an assault rifle clearly visible in the back seat and a needle cap on the floorboard, suggesting possible drug use. The plates were fake, but when deputies ran the vehicle's identification number, it revealed something far worse. The car belonged to a notorious criminal,
I wonder if
one
that's a
whom the
real
DEA had been chasing for months.
Anybody could just look up the vehicle now.
Gary Rowland, a 30-year-old parolee with multiple outstanding warrants, who had been quoted saying, "I'm never going back to prison alive." Knowing that Gary was likely in the neighborhood, officers narrowed down their search, and through CCTV and witness reports, they were quickly able to locate him in an apartment complex nearby. They moved in and made the arrest without incident. Before Gary was transported to jail, however, he surprised deputies by offering critical information about local narcotics and firearms trafficking in exchange for a reduced sentence. So instead of going to jail, they took him to the police station for questioning, unaware that this
That's what's
decision
messed it
would
up.
lead to the murder of one of their colleagues just hours later. This is Gary, and he's just been brought into the interrogation room. What the officers don't realize at this moment is that due to an incomplete search, he's managed to sneak in a knife and a loaded pistol, both hidden in his
Wow.
waistband.
It's crazy how officers will go so crazy on searching some people, but then certain people, I don't know how. I wonder how many officers he went through to get in here and still have those weapons on him.
Here. I'm going to protect the dash. DEA. Ready to write?
This is Jody Cash and his colleague, Donald Bowman, both members of a DEA task force. Worth knowing is that Detective Jody actually has history with Gary. Back in 2017, Jody managed to arrest him on drug and firearms
That's the
charges,
reason it went down.
offenses that sent him to prison for years.
Oh,
What
never
neither
mind.
Cash
Never
nor
mind.
Bowman knows is that Gary is armed, and one of them won't make it out alive.
My understanding on the office.
Yeah, you had some like a cigarette and we had to talk to my girl for 1 second and I'll figure out whatever you want.
I don't know about your girl, but I can definitely help you with getting some drink. I don't smoke, but I can smoke around with a cigarette.
Naturally, officers wanted to hear everything Gary had to say, so they let him take a smoke break. But this would turn out to be a mistake. Gary is then escorted outside of the building for his cigarette break. When they return to the room, surveillance footage shows that Gary has pulled his right pant leg up to just below the knee, making the weapon much easier to reach. Then, Gary asks for one more favor, one that would cost a deputy his life.
Thank you for your right now.
Give me the shovels. If you're not gonna call him, you know, you ain't gonna do much for us. But right now, I guarantee if I call Lexington, they probably gotta have that information. He ain't no stranger. You know. So realistically, we're looking at we really go with that.
Smoking a cigarette?
When things talking to that other things too, man, I don't mind helping you out, but you can't do this all day.
Okay. Bring me two cigarettes, one hand and one in the other. I got that one coming before that. That's the only one, that's the last one I got you.
You smoking anything about it?
Yeah.
Believing
So
they're
y'all
on the
about to
verge
give
of
him
obtaining
another
crucial
smoke break,
information,
and he ain't give
deputies
y'all
Cash
no
and
information.
Bowman grant Gary's request again. They follow him outside, but this time, they won't be coming back.
Gave him no information.
Gary is standing in front of the building, with Deputy Bowman to the left and Deputy Jody Cash to the right. A colleague can be seen arriving for his shift, walking into the building, completely unaware of the tragedy that was just seconds away. And as soon as he makes it inside,
Dang. He took Cash out quick. That's the one he had history with, right?
I'm not sure what we're still gonna do until we got one officer down and some purpose down.
Nick, someone didn't search him. It was in his waistband.
Why didn't you search him?
It hurt. Hell yeah.
Don't point the finger.
No, go over there to Jody. Stay alive, go to Jody. Go to Jody first. Go to Jody first. You need to go be with Bowman because Jody's not doing good, man. Somebody needs to be with Bowman. Yep. Yeah, go sit somewhere else, Brian. He's done for us. Yeah. I guess we didn't search good enough. He had a gun on his waistband.
You didn't search him well enough. And he had it right on his waistband. You didn't search him at all. That's the first place you look. I could see if it was like tucked up somewhere, but it was on his waistband. You didn't even touch his waist.
Stupid motherfucker.
44-year-old Jody Cash was transported to the hospital in critical condition, but tragically, he succumbed to his wounds shortly after and was pronounced dead. He had served in law enforcement for 22 years and has spent the last 2 on a special DEA task force. In the following weeks, an investigation was launched to determine how a convicted felon managed to smuggle a gun into the sheriff's office and kill a police officer. Based on the evidence gathered, investigators concluded that that day, no one searched Gary thoroughly enough. In response,
nobody searched.
Deputy Jody Cash's wife, Karen Cash, and Deputy Donald Bowman filed a lawsuit against law enforcement.
Yep.
The suit sought wrongful death damages for Cash's estate and emotional trauma compensation for Bowman, who developed PTSD and could no longer work in law enforcement. A settlement was reached in September 2023. As for Gary
So how
Rowland, he was shot 12 times and eventually died at the scene of the shootout. When his gun was recovered, investigators found a jammed casing, meaning that Gary's weapon malfunctioned. A lucky break that prevented any more officers from losing their lives.
I don't like how some people, like they search them, they don't have it. Like you like clothes are tight or something, and they go all over them. But some people, he had baggy clothes on, he's wanted, he's a felon, he had a rifle in the back of the car. He has something, but they don't search him, putting everybody else at risk. And then they start pointing fingers. Why don't y'all have like a metal detector, like as soon as people walk in, or something like that, man? I don't know.